Good morning and happy Wednesday. Rick Hopley here, and I'm actually in our kitchen today. Hopefully the acoustics are okay for today's live video. I want to share with you are three things. There's actually 300 things, but I'm going to narrow it down to three things you need to stop doing. Stop. So, your intention, your goal, your vision, however you look at it, of yourself in the future. I have to realize I keep chopping my head off. Yourself in the future, in the near or far future, is with less body fat. Okay, so you're trying to lose weight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you three things today that you are probably doing to facilitate that goal, but those aren't helping you, right? And take away and add, I'm going to give you a replacement strategy. Okay, so one of them is a little bit of a mindset tweak. One of them is going to involve movement, exercise, and one of them is going to involve your diet. Okay? So, three things to stop doing. Number one, stop weighing yourself. Throw away the scale. Okay? So, you think that sounds counterintuitive. You're like, oh, I'm trying to lose weight. How am I going to know if I've lost weight, right? Stop. Okay? So, the reason being, and the reason I harp on this all the time, if you followed me for any length of time, you've heard me say this many times. The number on the scale is an arbitrary number that may or may not show you positive results, may or may not show you negative results. It means nothing, okay? So the number you're going to see on the scale is very arbitrary, and it's based on nothing. Oftentimes, we try to lose weight, we'll look at that scale, and we'll be defeated by what we see because the numbers go up, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, okay? We all have different body types. A lot of times, too, we're looking at the scale and we're basing a number on the scale on some sort of value that's really not important or is unattainable. So, for example, we may be looking at the scale saying, hey, I was 135 pounds in high school, but I'm 165 pounds now. I want to be 135. The reality is that's not helpful. The other part of scale watching is this, is oftentimes when on our journeys, that number is going to fluctuate, and we don't want that number to bring us down. The number on the scale doesn't mean anything. It never has, never will. A 5'4" woman could be 100 pounds, very healthy. Could be 180 pounds, very healthy. 5'10" guy could be 171 pounds healthy or 157 pounds healthy, right? Doesn't matter. So, number one, throw away the scale. What to do instead? Just evaluate how you did today on your journey. I know that seems weird, right? What does that mean? Sit down at night and say, hey, what did I do today to make myself have less body fat? How did I help myself to get towards where I want to be, my vision for myself, okay? So look in the mirror and say, hey, how did I do today? How did I do? How am I looking? How am I feeling? How did I do with life today? How do I perform, right? Evaluate how you did. Make sure on your journey, again, without getting deep into the weeds, again, there are 300 things. You need to exercise, you need to eat better, you need to have a positive mindset. Those things need to be going forward. So how did you do on that? So evaluate that each day. Look in the mirror at the end of the day. You're about to go to bed. Did I exercise today? No. Okay. Evaluate that. Learn from that. Okay, I didn't do that. Let's schedule tomorrow. All right. That was number one. Throw away scale. Number two, stop focusing, and we'll talk workouts now. Stop focusing on cardio, right? A lot of people think like, hey, I want to lose weight. I'm going to do cardio. Back in the day when I was a sort of distance runner, the things they teach you there are so dumb. But they're like, we're going to carb load, right? So we're going to eat all these carbohydrates, and it's going to, it created an environment in my body where I had too much pasta for years, and I got asthma from it. It's stupid. But in any case, that's an aside. Cardio is fine. I am all for going out for a run, going for a bike ride, getting on an elliptical trainer. That is part of the process, but it's not the entire process. Okay? So if your tires, look at your car, all four tires are flat, you don't just pump one tire up. Right? Don't just pump one tire up. You got to pump all four tires. So you got to work on your fitness. You got to work on your cardio is fine. You need to do cardio. Move that body for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. But transition. So instead of just doing, I'm going to do cardio, I'm going to get an elliptical trainer for an hour, I'm going to lose weight. It's not going to work. Do that sometimes, but balance that with other stuff too. Do intervals. So instead of doing 20 minutes on the elliptical trainer, do 5 minutes as hard as you can. Rest for 5 minutes, do it again, right? Do different things like that. Do 1 minute intervals, 2 minute intervals, 5 minute intervals. Do different things. Add variety. I always say that your workouts need to have intensity, variety, and consistency. Cardio is fine, but that's not your main component. So what do you do instead? I just said, add some intervals, add some variety, weight train. You need to do some exercise where it involves lifting weights, getting stronger, stretching, doing these different things are all valuable parts of your fitness. All good components of fitness are going to help you long term. Don't worry, and I get this, I had this conversation with someone just recently. Don't worry about getting bulky, okay? That's not a thing. Your body is going to go to where your body's going to go. Stop looking, and this is kind of, I don't know if this is along these lines, but don't look at other people. Don't look at yourself 20 years ago. Don't look, I want to be like that. Because it's not attainable. Your body's going to do what it's going to do. Some people are going to be healthy and fit and awesome at 180, and someone that has the same height, same vertical challenge is going to be awesome at 100, right? That's fine. If you add muscle, your body's prone to add muscle. Guess what? That's how your body is. Just because you're not going to look like those skinny waifs you see on TV, right, or in the magazines, they look like, that's why they're in the magazines. It's unattainable. Very few people look like that. So you need to, when you're doing fitness and you're working on fitness, you need to balance those things out. You need to do intensity. You need to do weight training. You need to get stronger. Those are good things. You know, it's like I had someone say, "Oh, I was getting bulky," and that's that. So what? So you have muscle. That's fine. Your body fat and your muscle, right? Everyone's different, but you're going to gain muscle. That's important. That's good. We have hundreds of muscles in our human body, and they all help us, right? If we don't exercise for 5, 10, 20, 30 years, those things are going to atrophy out and they're going to get smaller and less dense. Now we're going to start moving them again. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to get stronger, they're going to get more dense, and that number on the scale, which I talked about, is going to go up. Your size may go up a little bit. You may get a little bulky, right? Get a little muscles, and that's perfectly fine. Your body fat is going to do what it's going to do. It might stay the same for a while, it might go down. Everyone's different. Lots of different factors going on. But oftentimes your size and your number on the scale, kind of tie the first two together a little bit here. Your size and the number on the scale are going to vary based on your specific DNA and who you are and your lifestyle choices, how old you are, all those different things, right? So if you're lifting weights and you're like, I don't want to get bulky because I'm going to become like those women I see on the CrossFit games, you're wrong. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to get bulky. And if you do add some muscle, so what? You add muscle. Being strong is not a bad thing, regardless of whether you're a male or a female. So Number two was stop focusing on simply cardio, add some intervals, weight train too. Okay, number 3, food. Let's talk about food. Stop focusing on or talking about low carb, okay? The whole low carb myth has been driving me crazy for 30 years. Ever since the first time I saw the low carb craze go crazy and fade away. Now, granted, without diving too deep in the weeds, generally, food that's unhealthy for us is going to be higher carbohydrate, okay? But that doesn't mean carbohydrates are bad. All foods have 3 things. All foods have 3 of the macronutrients, protein, fat, carbohydrates. All 3 have a certain proportion, right? Or all food has a certain proportion, all 3. So a banana is going to have fat, carbohydrates, proteins. Not a lot of protein, not a lot of fat, mostly carbohydrates. Chicken breast is going to have a combination, it's going to have higher protein. Just the way it is. Now, if the myth about lower carb, yes, if you go into ketosis, your body's going to say, whoa, I just need to burn body fat forever. I'm just going to burn body fat. And that's fine. Sometimes that even works for some people. Now, that being said, long term, that's not a smart strategy. It's hard to stay in ketosis, and most people screw it up, which is going to have a negative impact on your energy, the way you feel, your health. All these different things are going to go downhill. You don't want that. Stop focusing on eliminating carbs or eating low carb, okay? I hear it all the time. I own a meal prep and delivery business, and oftentimes I ask people, hey, how'd you find this? And I say, I'm looking to lose weight, so I'm looking at low carb, right? And that's fine. We do have low carb options on our menu, which tend to be a little healthier. But stop focusing there. Focus instead on this. Do 2 things. Well, a lot of things, but do these 2 things. Take a look at what you're eating and lower the amount of food that you intake. Okay, don't eliminate, that's silly, but just have less of the food that you know isn't healthy for you, okay? If you're looking at a beer and you're like, okay, this is not healthy, drink less of that. If you are someone that eats a lot of desserts and you know you eat a lot of desserts, do that less. Most people most people inherently understand and know what they're doing too much of or too little of, right? And usually they're having too many stacks, too many chips, too many of those type of things. Just lower those numbers a little bit. Just have less of that. Keep it simple, have less of that. And add more of the good stuff. What is the good stuff? You know, fruits and vegetables, lean meats. Every time you eat, you should be having some fruits and vegetables, you know? Lower those portion sizes. Do the simple things, okay? So make a lifestyle change. When it comes to eating, make a lifestyle change. Eat better. Have a dessert now and then, but don't have 6. Don't have dessert every single night. Don't have chips all day long, right? And if you're in a transition period of your life where you're like, hey, I know that I need to change my body a lot because I have extraordinarily overweight. Yeah, you may need to really lower or even eliminate some of these bad things. For me, for example, I don't have soda. I don't drink soda. I haven't had a soda in 10 years. I don't eat fast food. I haven't been in a fast food restaurant except to go to the bathroom on a road trip in 12 years. Right? 12 years I haven't done either one of those things. Now, do I have desserts from time to time? Sure. Do I have a beer from time to time? Sure. But do I get drunk? No. Do I have dessert every night? No. I have the protein donuts from Fit Life Meals. I have one of those every day. But I have some desserts here and there, but some exercise every day. Do that. So stop focusing on low carb. Focus on less crap. How about that? So low carb is fine, but we can focus on eating more of the good stuff. Most times, and this is the last kind of thing on this because I'll be here all day talking about this stuff. Most people don't eat too much crap. They don't eat enough of the good stuff, right? So what you're doing is you're replacing your need for calories by having crappy or low density foods that have lower nutritional quality. So you're eating a donut instead of having broccoli, right? Add those good stuffs in, up the good stuff, and guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna have less of the bad stuff automatically because you're not gonna want it, okay? So 3 things stop doing. Throw away your scale, stop weighing yourself. Number 2, stop focusing on cardio. Number 3, stop focusing on low carb, okay? Hope that helps, hope you get value out of this. As always, if you did, click share button, share with your friends, we appreciate that. And if you're in here in Central Florida and you want to check out the Fit Life Meals, please like our Facebook page. And I created a new Facebook group that I'm running. Is called Central Florida Healthy Living, for people in Central Florida, get them hooked up with healthy type things, whether it's gyms, place to hike, workout, food, stuff like that. Go ahead and click like on that page, join that page, and share content on that page. I'm trying to grow that and trying to change the world a little bit over here. So hope you get value. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next one.